Hey, what's up guys, Houston here. And for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, as always, salute. Now, today's video is very exciting because how many of you guys would like to figure out an easier way to at least boost your credit score 200 points? Okay, well, if that's you, this video is definitely going to be for you because I'm going to break down 7 things that you can do to help boost your credit score 200 points within 30 to 45 days. Okay, especially for you people that may be trying to get into the 700s, or you people on the borderline of getting close to an 800 credit score. This definitely is going to help you. All right, so the first thing that you're going to do, you're going to need a little extra income. Okay, and I know some of you are, well, Houston, I don't have time to work a second job, I'm overworked already or whatever. And that's cool and dandy, but again, in order for you to take advantage of this strategy, you're going to need some extra income. Okay, now here's the thing about it, understanding about this extra income. What you can do if you're working a job, you can file exempt for 4 to 6 months. Okay, you can file exempt for 4 to 6 months. That's going to give you an income boost temporarily. Okay, and the reason you need that income is because you're going to be paying down your debts. But you're not just going to be paying down your debts. It's a certain way that you're going to need to pay down your debts in order for this here strategy to work to help you get that 200 points within 30 to 45 days. Now, here's the second thing that you want to do. You want to set up all your bills as a debt snowball. Now, I know some of you guys are familiar with Dave Ramsey, and he talks about the debt snowball. Okay, and there's other sophisticated ways out there to help pay down your debt. But the reason that you want to use the simple method as the debt snowball is because you want leverage, and you want leverage fast. Okay, and the fastest way to do that is through the debt snowball. Okay, and so that means is where you go from the smallest bill, paying down your smallest bill, to your largest bill. Okay, that's all it is. So don't worry about the interest rate. That's not important. All you want is the smallest bill to the largest bill, because you want your credit score to jump up real fast, especially within the next 30 to 45 days. Okay, so that's number 3. That's doing the snowball. All right, now here's something else that you can do. You can start paying weekly. That's right. That's right. All of your bills. What you want to do, you want to start paying your credit cards on your credit cards weekly, instead of waiting till the closing date to pay on your credit card. Don't do that. Okay, or the due date. You don't want to wait till the due date. You want to start paying weekly. And here's the reason why this is going to help you. All right, because each credit bureau, they don't pick this data up all at the same time. So you may have a account with Navy Federal, right? Okay, Navy Federal reports to all 3 credit bureaus, but that data is not picked up at the same time. So it's best that if you pay weekly, okay, you're paying down your debt and stuff like that. So when Equifax report, Experian reports, TransUnion reports, all of them are picking up that data, right? And it's showing that the debt is going down, but they may report it at a different time period. Okay, so that's the reason you want to do that. All right, it's very important. Now, here's another secret that a lot of people are not familiar with. Most people say pay your debt down to 30%. Here's something. If you're able to pay your debt down to 9%, you'll get a bigger boost in your credit score. Again, this is what we want. We want to be able to try to get a bigger boost in our credit score as fast as possible. Okay, and this is so important. So, and I understand you may have high balance credit cards and stuff like that, but again, make sure that you set up the debt snowball, the smallest to the largest. Okay, but at the same time, paying down your debts. All right, again, down to 8-9%, you get a bigger increase in the credit score. Now, here's something else. Once you start paying down your debt, you can possibly negotiate, okay, a credit line increase, okay? And with a lot of lenders out there, if they know that you've been making your payments on time and stuff like that, and I would call them. I wouldn't do it online for a credit line increase. I would call them. So that way you can see if it's possible for them to do a soft pull on your credit account instead of a hard pull to give you that credit line increase. So don't just do it online. Call them, get them on the phone to see if it's possible for them to do a soft pull instead of a hard pull for that credit line increase. All right. Now, so with some credit card companies, they do it automatically. Depends on how long you've been with them. But again, if you had a credit card account that you've been paying on and stuff, and you have a good relationship and stuff like that, then I would actually see if I would qualify for a credit line increase. All right, so that's very important. Now, here's something that a lot of people are baffled by, why their credit score is low. Okay, and that's because you don't have a loan on your credit. Now, you may be like, well, Houston, why would I get more debt on my credit? Well, it's because of the credit calculations, okay? And so, like, say that you have perfect credit and you decide, hey, I'm going to pay my car loan off. Well, then when you pay your car loan off, you can actually lose anywhere from 20 up to 40 points on your credit score because you no longer have a loan factoring in there. All you have is revolving credit. Because you don't have enough mixture of credit, this can drop your credit score. And so most people are not aware of this, okay? And there's some other things that I'm going to be sharing with you, so stick with me, because I think if you all do this here, it's definitely going to help you jump your credit score up within the next 30 to 45 days. Some people say 5 days. Unless they're doing rapid score, don't pay no attention to that. If you follow the process, I promise you within 30 to 45 days, and if you're able to just follow this method that I'm sharing with you, you would see an increase in your credit score, okay? Now, in terms of loans, okay, you have credit unions out there that offer pledge loans, okay? So you may be able to get a pledge loan, okay? Now, there are some other companies, if you have a challenging credit and stuff like that, that won't do a hard pull on your credit to help you get a loan. And again, this loan is reported to boost up your credit score, okay? And that's Stilt, S-T-I-L-T, Stilt loans, right? You have op loans, and they deal with people that have recent bankruptcy. Now, understanding they don't work in all states, okay? So you have to keep that in mind. Now you have Money Lion. You have Money Lion. Again, God, my spelling is horrible today. Well, usually it's horrible anyway. But nonetheless, Money Lion, right? So again, these are a few places that you can reach out to get a startup loan and stuff like that, or pledge loan and stuff like that, so that you would have that mixture on your credit file. Because having that mixture on your credit file, again, it's a credit boost. But if you don't have that mixture on your credit file, you can actually decrease your credit score. So you need to understand that. Now, here's something that people aren't aware of. Number 7, you can add AUs, okay? Now, a lot of people say, well, AUs don't work. Again, that's not true. What's happening with AUs and stuff, with some credit card companies, they're only reporting the time that you actually started with that AU. But there's other credit card companies, they actually pull over the information for when the card was originally opened. So that's the difference between the two. Now, here's another thing why you would want to add an AU. Not only for the points, but also in terms of it'll help balance out your debt to income ratio. So if you have a high debt to income ratio and you add a few AUs on the credit, what's going to happen is your debt to income ratio goes down because you have more trade lines on the credit file, okay? Now, one thing about it, especially if you're trying to boost up your credit score and you're trying to get a mortgage or something like that, remember, like with federal government loans and stuff, like with FHA or HUD or veterans, sometimes they may not accept authorized users on the credit file, okay? So you have to keep that in mind. So when you're trying to go get that mortgage loan or something, you may have to have yourself removed off. Now, I would also say this. If you had been added on as an authorized user and that person did not manage their account correctly and that account went bad, that hurts your credit score, right? However, what you can do is call that financial institution and you can request that they remove that authorized user off of your credit file, and you'll see a jump in your credit score from that too. All right. Now here's some other things that you can do. All right. These are some new things. Now you have where you can start building your credit with debit cards. That's right, with debit cards. There's a company out there called Extra. There's a company out there called Zorro. Okay. Then you also have a credit AI, excuse me. Now, here, let me explain about Extra and Zorro. Here's the thing about these two. All right. With debit cards and stuff, what happens is that all your regular transactions you do with your debit card and stuff, what they do, they calculate that total up, and at the end of the month they report it to the credit bureaus. So for those of you, again, you may have a card that has a buy here, pay here, and you're paying with your debit card because they don't report to the credit bureau, so you can't build up your credit. Well, now Extra, since you're paying with your debit card and stuff, Extra will be able to report that to the credit bureau. Or you may be paying rent somewhere and the landlord will not report it to the credit bureaus and stuff like that. If they don't want to report it to the credit bureaus, now you have options with Extra, okay? Extra or Zorro, so they can pick up that information. Now, another thing, again, in terms of helping you boost up your credit score, getting you closer to 200, over that 200 within that 30, 45 days, again, with some of these, like Credit AI. Now, if any of you guys have used any of this, put a comment below. Let me know. Did you like it? Are you using it? How do you feel about using your debit card transactions to report to the credit bureau? Also, don't forget about Experian Boost. Now, with Experian Boost, it doesn't give you a whole lot of points, but hey, anywhere from 13 points up to almost 25 points is a win-win. So don't forget about adding these other things on to help you increase your credit score, okay? So that's just a few of them. Now, we really finna turn it up because I'm going to share a secret with you all that a lot of these so-called credit guys are doing. Excuse me for that, guys. What these so-called credit guys are doing to saying that, hey, I can fix your credit, right? But at the same time, I'm going to tell you what they're doing so that you can fix your own credit and you don't have to pay them for it. Again, especially like in the community and stuff, you may be worried that you may mess something up. If you need a consultation about your credit file, some understanding, click the link below. Set up a consultation with us at Three-Way Funding. We'll go over your credit file to tell you exactly what to do. But for now, I'm going to tell you what it is that you actually can do to help increase your credit score. All right. And most people don't know this. And that's freeze your credit. Okay. You have to excuse me, guys, because it's windy today, so you have to excuse me for it. So you hear the noise and stuff, it's because of the wind. Now, freezing your credit, not just freezing the credit. This is what you have to do. You have to freeze your LexisNexis, okay? You have to freeze your core logic. And I'm going to tell you why you need to freeze these in a minute. So let me finish writing them down so I can tell you why. All right? Then you have SafeStream. And then you have Innovis, okay? Now, why do you have to freeze your credit? Well, when you're challenging your credit and stuff, the credit bureaus, they're pulling this information from these third-party data companies. So when you send a letter into the credit bureau and they send it back, oh, we verified it, guess what? They verified it through these here systems, right? So what you have to do, you have to block these systems. Now, they really have to either verify it or delete it, because they have to reach out to the, oh wow, they have to reach out to the creditors to actually verify this information. So now they won't be able to go through these third-party systems in order to verify. And again, I'm going to tell you something, guys. With the credit bureaus, if there's a certain way you need to address your letters and stuff like that, if you don't, a lot of times the credit bureaus would toss your letters in the trash. And so you were like, well, how come I never got a response or whatever? Well, again, because you didn't send the letters out the correct way. And again, if you want consultation, a better understanding how you're supposed to address your letters, send them out, then set up a consultation so I can actually go over your credit file with you and walk you through the steps. All right? But nonetheless, if you're trying to boost your credit score 200 points within the next 30 to 45 days, just following these steps, like I said, you need some extra income. Some of you all will start getting those child stimulus tax credit and stuff like that. That's going to help boost up your credit score and stuff, and it's supposed to help pay the bills and stuff like that. Well, one of the ways to help position you better so that you can help your family out is to fix your credit, right? So that being said, like I said, if you're working a job, file exempt from 4 to 6 months so that you can get an income boost, right? And then set up the debt snowball. Setting up the debt snowball from smallest to largest. Don't worry about the interest rate. Just do what I'm telling you, and I promise you, you're going to see an increase in your credit score within that 30 to 45 days. Also, paying small amounts weekly on your credit card. So if your monthly credit card bill is $50 a month, then pay $10, $15 a week. Just constantly pay on it. Okay? Again, setting up the debt snowball, because it's very important to be able to start paying down your debt. And that way, by paying it weekly, the credit bureaus will start picking it up, and they're constantly seeing this information being picked up. Okay? Also, if you're able to get a lump sum of money or to be able to pay your credit down to about 8 to 9%, this is very important, because this is going to give you a credit line, give you a credit boost. All right. Then also seeing if you can get a credit line increase. If you get a credit line increase without a hard inquiry, that's going to push down your debt to income ratio. So that way, again, you're still increasing your credit score. Also, you need to have that credit mix, all right? And with that credit mix, you're going to need a loan on there. So if you don't have a loan, you need to have a loan on there. So you can use credit unions pledge loans. Sometimes your banks, they offer different small secured loans as well, but that's what you need on your credit file. You don't have to have a whole lot of them on there. Now, if you have a mortgage already, or you have a car loan or a student loan, in terms of the pledge loans, they won't give you such a big boost in your credit, but at the same time, the more positive trade lines you have on there, the better it is. So you have STIP, you have op loans, you have money line, also you have indie loans. I'll put a link so you can check out indie loans. Again, these are some of the places that you can check out to be able to get a loan, because you need that trade line. All right. Now, talking about trade lines again, adding the AUs. Don't go overboard with the AUs. You only want maximum 2 to 3. Okay, so you don't need a whole lot of AUs. Don't do that. All right. So here's the thing about it. You have that, then of course you have your debit card. So if you're using your debit cards, I would definitely tell you, if you're trying to build your credit, sign up with Extra. Attach your bank account with it. Use your debit card so they can start reporting it to the credit bureau. Again, you have Credit AI. So that's going to help you as well. And then of course the last thing, when trying to restore your credit and stuff, you want to freeze your credit. Because even with freezing your credit, even with the 3 major bureaus, what happens is that your credit score increases another 15 points. So also, don't forget about Experian Boost. Guys, if I'm explaining this, if this is helpful to you, put a like, give me a like, let me know, give me a comment, let me know if this is a strategy you're willing to try, because I promise you, if you're trying to boost your credit score 200 points, following this game plan, you will see your credit score go up. All right, so this is Houston with 3-Way Funding. Again, for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. For those of you that's always following me and supporting me, as always, salute.